Australia in 7. I'll be cheering up here for the Australians, I'm sure. Dominican Republic in lane 8. So we've got the automatic qualifiers so far, Jamaica and the United States. Awkward lane in some ways, Donovan, for the Australians, but in others perhaps a bonus out in 7.
7 is actually real good in the relay. You have one person in front of you. You don't really have you're not in a mix with maybe 4 or 5. Canada's in a very bad position in lane 2 because handing off the baton, there's a lot of confusion. So lane 7 is actually a good lane for the Australians.
Great Britain and Northern Ireland, I would expect to be the favourites here. Have a look at their lineup. Campbell's come in now for the semi-final. So Christian Malcolm, finalist in the 200, to Campbell, who was the bronze medalist in the 100, to Devonish, and to Dwayne Chambers, who was one of the favourites for the 100 metres. They've dropped out Mark Lewis Francis, the world junior champion. Nigeria's got Imadolu and Aliyu in there, and there's the Australians. Pressure run for them.
As Matt Shervington mentioned in the interview, only a few times they've tossed the baton around, so still improving, and they were very happy with that performance in the heats.
They'll be struggling to get through here. First 3 and the next 2 fastest non-automatic qualifiers.
Going to be tough. Just checking on the expected time. We know the non-automatic qualifier in the first semi-final was Japan in 38.58, so that's about the benchmark. And to do that, the Australians will have to go a bit beyond their season's best, so it's within their reach.
It is, but there's some pretty tough competition here.
So very even, really. Germany in 1, the French in lane 4. There's the lead-off for Ronald Pognon. There's Christian Malcolm. And the Canadians led off by Charles Allen. Pierre Brown, their best runner, is the anchor. And Donovan Bailey's with us. And Donovan, a young team for the Canadians. Obviously, they've got a great pedigree. You're one of the 2 teams that knocked off the United States in the reign of 4x1s. But, can they qualify?
I hope so. I think that the fact that they made it to the semis, the fact that they made it here right now is a good thing for the young team. Very much like maybe Australia. On the opposite side, we've got these guys are young. They're just finishing school. They're all in their early 20s. So this is the future. And we also have Nicholas Macrozanis, who's not here, but definitely is going to be part of the program if I have anything to do with it. And Glenroy is doing a great job ensuring that these guys can maintain the legacy that we created.
Macrozanis not there. He knocked off Tim Montgomery earlier this season. He'll be there. Don't worry, he'll be back.
We hope so.
Well, this is a very, very tough semi-final for the Australians, but they've done it on courage so far. Matt Shervington is a great starter. Patrick Johnson is very determined to get a result.
Patrick's going to have to run very, very hard. He's got the big guns against him down the back straight.
Watch out for the French in 4. They'll be urged on by this big crowd at the Stade de France. The British will be very hard to beat in this. Dwayne Chambers, their anchor this time. Australia in 7. Hand up by the Canadian, Charles Allen.
Big noise going on in the stadium.
Well, so far we haven't seen too many disasters. There was a runner that went off the track in the 4x4 from the Botswana, it was.
So We've got all them about to get back in their blocks for the second time. A bit toey when you're standing around, at the top bend and down the bottom of the straight, and you're made to wait a bit longer. You've got no control over what's going on.
Darren Campbell continues his run of these championships. He's the second runner for Great Britain and Northern Ireland. He's had a terrific run, hasn't he? Third at the 100 final, fourth in the 200 final. Could get a medal here.
Talking to him last night, he said it was just important that he felt for him to get 8 races done and come through in one piece, and leading up to next year with Athens, where he'll try and double. And he said the relay was really going to be a big bonus for him.
I like that team. I mean, he's definitely exemplifying what team's all about. He gets out there, works hard, and he does individual races, and he comes back and joins his teammates, and they want to do something, and they want to succeed together, which is great.
Darren Campbell, of course, has mixed 2 and 100 running.
What we're looking at there is all the athletes stick a tape mark down before the changeover zones, and when their particular athlete runs past us, that's the sign for them to take off like free beer.
We hope Patrick Johnson is listening to you, Jane, and he takes off at a rapid pace.
With the baton.
With the baton, exactly. You don't want to leave that behind. Won't be mailed to you in a hurry. Australia in 7, the British in 5, the French in 4, and Canada in 2. Away, good start by Matt Shervington. On the inside, Nigeria got a good start as well, and the British going okay. Further back on the inside is Brazil, who've run a very strong first leg. Patrick Johnson gets the bat and he's away. Patrick's going okay too. On the outside of him, the Dominican Republic. Further back to the British, who are running on now. Good third change for the Australian. They're away. DeBella is running a strong leg. The Australians in third place at the moment. Bring it home, Adam Basil. You could be into a final, lad. He's away on the outside. The British in front. Basil back in about 4th place. Getting up on the inside is Brazil. Nigeria may run 3rd. The Australians back in 6th place. Well, they didn't make any mistakes. It was a hot heat.
Unlike the Germans, who didn't get the baton around, they ruined their last changeover. Their last runner went out way too quick.
That was clinical from the British, 38-26. Dwayne Chambers looked very convincing in that final leg, and for a moment, Adam Basil looked like he may get into a position to threaten 3rd place, but certainly some big hitters in that final leg, Jane.
Here is, have a look at the Germans there on lane 1. They've really messed it up and then thrown the baton down in disgust as Chambers comes home pretty strongly, as you'd expect. Tell you what, so did Aliou. He ran a great last leg.
Okay, there's the transition for the British. Back to the field now, and the long jump for women.